Hello guys, we're going to jump into Revelation chapter 2, which is the message to the churches of Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, and Thyatira. Chapter 2 and chapter 3 have to deal with the 7 churches, which was the 7 candlesticks that we read in chapter 1. Basically, they are gripes towards the churches and instructions on how to fix it. Chapter 4 and chapter 5 have to deal with John's vision of heaven and then his vision of the scrolls. And chapter 6 goes into, more the prophetic parts of Revelation. There's 22 chapters in the book of Revelation, and we're going to get started right now with verse 1. The message to the church of Ephesus. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars, and hast borne and has patience, and for my name's sake has labored and has not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and I will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. So he's saying right here, we have to be overcomers to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. And the church is commended because of its perseverance through persecution. It's commended. However, its people have come under Christ's discipline for having not lost their first love or former devotion to Christ. And that was the church of Ephesus. And this is the message to the church of Smyrna. And unto the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's basically the modern day cabal. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And that was the church of Smyrna, and the believers of Smyrna were undergoing persecution and had been reduced to poverty and no condemnation, but were encouraged to endure suffering. And this is the message to the church of Pergamos. To the angel of the church of Pergamos write, These things saith the which hath the sharp sword with 2 edges. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. But I have a few against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat sacrificed unto idols, things that were sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine, the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly. I will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth saving he that receiveth it. So that was the church of Pergamos, and Christ commends this church for remaining faithful in the midst of such satanic influence. The doctrine of Balaam was a compromise of Christianity with paganism, which is later and which is now basically the Roman Catholic Church. Since its beginning and inception was the mix of Christianity and the Roman Greek mythology. And this is the message to the church of Thyatira. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write these things, saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. I know thy works, and charity, and service, and faith, and thy patience, and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth her a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works. But unto you I say, and the rest in Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan, as they speak, I will put upon you none other burden, but that which you have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. And that was the church of Thyatira. Do not follow the false prophet Jezebel, and get power and authority in the millennial kingdom for the obedient believers to judge the nations, as it says right there in verse 26. So that was 4 of the 7 churches, and we will get into the other 3 churches in chapter 3. God bless you guys.